Good morning student. Today we are going to learn second chapter of business organization. In the previous lectures we have learned about the first chapter in which we have studied about the business, its characteristics, objectives of business, then about profession, employment, then about the commerce, trade and industries. We have also learned difference between profession, employment and business. In this chapter, chapter 2, we are going to learn about the business services. In the previous chapter, we have learned about the commerce. Its meaning was trade plus auxiliary services. Auxiliary services which include insurance, postal services, warehouses, transportations, etc. Now, in business services, we are going to learn different auxiliary services which are associated with the business and through which business service or business become easy, and how these services are going to help us in businesses. We are going to learn each and every services in this chapter. Business services chapter, it is divided into two chapters. First is business services 1, in which we are going to learn about the insurance, postal services, warehouses and transportation. In business services 2, we are going to learn only about the bank, which is the most important service related to the business. Now, today we will start with the first service in the second chapter, business services 1. Chapter 2, business organization, that is BO, business services 1, and we are starting with the first service, that is insurance. What is the meaning of insurance? Insurance, it is a written agreement. Which type of agreement it is? It is a written agreement. Insurance cannot be an oral agreement, it is always in the written form. So, it is a written agreement between insurer and insuree. What do you mean by insurer and insuree? Meaning, insurer is the one who take insurance. Who take insurance is called insurer. Insuree means who give insurance. One who give insurance, that means insurance company is considered as insuree, and one who take insurance is called the insurer, means whose property, whose life is insured with the help of insurance company. So again here, it is a written agreement between insurer and insuree. What is the agreement? To pay the pre-decided amount. Pre-decided means already decided, जो पहले से decide की होती है वो amount. To pay the pre-decided amount against pre-decided premium. Premium is what? Premium means and amount which is paid yearly, monthly or quarterly by the insurer to the insuree. So here the definition goes again. It is a written agreement between insurer and insuree to pay the pre-decided amount against pre-decided premium at the time of loss. So what insurance company do? You have to pay premium to the insurance company, and for that insurance company gives you an assurance that if loss is happened, we will reimburse the loss if you pay us the premium regularly. Against the premium, insurance company gives us the promise to pay back the loss, that is called an insurance. So it is one kind of protection given to us from the insurance company. Now, insurance company and one who take insurance, suppose we are taking the insurance and insurance company, we both have to follow certain principles. In this chapter or in this part, we are going to learn principles of insurance. In our textbook, we are given 4 principles of insurance. Let us learn them one by one. See here, principles of insurance. First principle, utmost good faith. While entering into the contract, both the parties here, two parties, one is insurer and another is insuree. Both the parties, insurer and insurees, the parties should provide all information or risk associated with the insured product. If any information or risk found to be hidden, then agreement is cancelled. Okay, now let's take an example that will make your understanding very clear. Example, in Mediclaim, while you are taking an insurance, in Mediclaim, you have to tell all the risks associated with the person for whom you are taking the insurance. Let's take an example. Suppose you are taking an insurance of your grandfather, or you are taking an insurance of your father. And if your father has any problem, maybe diabetes, maybe heart problem or any problem, and if you hide these diseases or any problem from the insurance company, then at the time of giving the claim or at the time of giving the amount for the medical emergency, insurance company will not pay any amount if you hide any disease which your insurance product has. So again I am repeating this, please listen to me carefully. If you are taking the insurance of any person and if that person have any disease, you cannot hide that disease from the insurance company. If you are hiding, then at the time of claim, insurance company will not pay a single rupees for the medical emergency. So here utmost good faith states that insurance company and you cannot hide anything or any risk associated with the property for which you are taking the insurance. Now, second principle is principle of indemnity. What these principles mean? According to this principle, insurance company will pay only the amount of loss, not less than that, not more than that. Here, example I have written, just go through with the example, that will give you the clear understanding. If amount of asset is 5 lakh, if any asset may be your car or property or anything, any asset costing is rupees 5 lakh, and any damage done to the car or your property may be due to natural calamity, flood, fire, anything, then damage to the property is 3 lakh. Your property costing rupees 5 lakh and damage to the property is 3 lakh. Then insurance company will pay 3 lakhs, not 5 lakhs. The insurance company will pay only 3 lakhs, not 5 lakh, even though your property is of 5 lakh, but insurance company will pay 3 lakhs. So, principle of indemnity says, insurance company will pay the amount of loss, not less than that, not more than that. Insurance company will pay only the amount of loss. Then, third principle, that is principle of insurable interest. The insuree must have financial interest in the product for which he is taking insurance. One can take insurance of the things or person with which they have blood relation or lawful relation. Let's take an example. Husband can take insurance of wife because they have lawful relation. Husband and wife have lawful relations. That's why husband can take an insurance of wife. So in this third principle, it is to be understood that you can take insurance with which you have blood relation. Means father can take an insurance of his son or a daughter. Similarly, if you have lawful relation, a husband can take a insurance of a wife. Here one thing also noted that if you have given money to a person, then that person will become your debtor. You can take insurance of your debtor also because you and your debtor have lawful relation of money. Because you have given money to him, your money become safe if anything happened to his life. That's why you can take an insurance of your debtors. That means in the first line we have learned that you can take insurance for the product in which you have financial interest. And in the second line we have learned you can take insurance with which you have blood relation and lawful relation. So three things is important over there. You can take insurance with a financial interest in the product, and another two, blood relation and lawful relations. Now fourth principle is principle of subrogation. Transfer of ownership of damaged property to insurance company whose claim is settled is considered in the principle of subrogation. This principle is not applicable. Remember this, it can be asked in MCQs. This principle of subrogation is not applicable to the life insurance. Now let's take an example which will give you the clear understanding. Example, suppose your car is of rupees 5 lakh and it got fully damaged due to accident. Then insurance company will pay you if you have taken a full insurance. If you have taken a full insurance, bumper to bumper, that is considered as a full insurance. If you have taken a full insurance of your car, then insurance company will pay you 5 lakh and then the remaining part of the scrap will be transferred to the insurance company. So here you have to learn one thing. Please remember these things. Suppose you have taken an insurance of your car and car costing rupees 5 lakh and in an accident full car is damaged. The insurance company will give you 5 lakh rupees, but they will take the damaged car to them because by selling that damaged car they can earn a few rupees or few amount. The scrap value will be earned by the insurance company after selling the damaged car. Then insurance company will pay you only rupees 5 and the scrap will be transferred to the insurance company. So in the principle of subrogation, transfer of scrap is considered. So students, in insurance it is very important to learn these principles. There are 4 principles. First is utmost good faith, second is principle of indemnity, third is insurable interest, and fourth is principle of subrogation. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about the types of insurance. Thank you.